So, you think your design portfolio is just a pretty gallery of your best work, right? Well, what if I told you that top creative directors think that exact mindset is what might be holding you back? Today, we're going to talk about how to transform your portfolio from a simple collection into a powerful story that actually gets you the interview.
We spend so much time creating these absolutely stunning, super polished mock-ups, and hey, they look amazing. But let's be real, when a busy creative director lands on your site, is this all they see? Just a beautiful picture with zero context? No story at all?
Or maybe it's the total opposite. They click a link and land on a page that's just this overwhelming, messy grid of like 30-plus projects. It's basically an archive of everything you've ever done. And you know what that does? It creates instant choice paralysis. A hiring manager sees that, and they're way more likely to just close the tab than even try to figure out where to start.
And that brings us to the hard truth, the 30-second test. Yeah, you have, on average, just about half a minute to grab their attention and make an impression. That's it. So your portfolio can't just be pretty. It has to be a strategic weapon designed to pass a super fast, super critical review.
And this really is the key takeaway, and it comes straight from industry leaders. They're not just flipping through looking for pretty pictures. No way. They are actively searching for evidence of your thinking, your process, your professionalism. What they really want is a story.
Okay, so how do we actually build that strategic story? Well, that's what we're here for. Here's our game plan. We're going to cover curation over collection, how to make every project tell a story, why presentation is everything, finding your X factor, avoiding common pitfalls, and finally, your 5 next steps. Let's do it.
All right, first up, curation over collection. This is the big one, the quality, not quantity rule. Probably the single biggest mistake I see is designers treating their portfolio like some kind of digital storage locker. It's time to stop that. It's time to become a ruthless editor of your own work.
So what's the magic number? It's right around 8 to 12. Seriously, you don't need 30 projects. You just need 8 to 12 of your absolute best, most killer pieces. Why? Because it shows you can self-edit. It shows you have the confidence to stand by your strongest work. Quality, not quantity. That is the name of the game here.
And this is really all about a huge mindset shift. You're going from being an archivist, someone who just saves everything, to a curator. Think about it like a museum curator. They don't show every single piece they own, right? No, they select only the most impactful pieces to create a really powerful exhibit. That's your new job.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do you do this? First, your very first project has to be your strongest opener. It sets the tone for everything that follows. Next, show your range, a mix of different project types. And this is crucial. Be brave. You have to remove outdated or weaker work. Knowing what to cut is a seriously important skill. It shows maturity.
All right, next section. Every project tells a story, the narrative arc. Because here's the thing, a gorgeous mock-up on its own, it's just not enough anymore. Creative directors, they want to see your brain at work. And that means every single project needs a story.
So here's the framework, a simple 4-step story for every project. 1, the problem. What was the challenge you were trying to solve? 2, your process. This is where you show the messy stuff, the sketches, the wireframes, the thinking. 3, the solution. This is your beautiful, high-quality final design. And 4, and this is so important, the impact. Quantify it if you can. A 25% increase in signups is so much more powerful than just saying it was successful.
Moving on to our third point, presentation is everything. We're talking about the devil in the details here. Look, this is the non-negotiable part. Your craft, your execution, it can absolutely make or break your chances, and I don't care how good the work itself is.
You have to think of your portfolio website as its own project, because it is being judged harshly. Spelling errors, grammatical mistakes, those are huge red flags. Is your navigation intuitive? Is the site fast? Does it work on mobile? A slow, clunky site that isn't mobile-friendly is just a guaranteed way to get that browser tab closed. Every single detail matters.
And hey, let's talk about your About Me page. Please don't treat this as an afterthought. It's such a huge opportunity to connect on a human level. You need a good professional photo, a bio that's compelling and actually shows a bit of your personality, and obviously clear contact info. You want to make them feel like they know you a little and actually want to meet you.
All right, section 4, finding your X factor. So you've curated your work, you've presented it flawlessly, now what?
What's going to make a creative director remember you out of a giant stack of 50 other applicants? This is about what makes you memorable.
This is where you prove you're not just a pair of hands that can use the software. A great way to do this? Showcase passion projects. They show what you're genuinely excited about. And when you're writing your case studies, really articulate why you made your design decisions. This shows you're a thoughtful problem solver, a real creative partner, not just someone who follows orders.
Okay, let's talk about what not to do. It's time to cover the common pitfalls, the things I like to call the instant rejections. These are the simple mistakes that can totally undermine all the brilliant work you've done.
This is basically a checklist you should use to audit your own portfolio. Seriously. Things like mystery meat navigation, where you have no idea what an icon or a link does until you click it. Total user frustration. Lack of context. We've talked about that. The cluttered portfolio. We've talked about that too. Slow load times. A slow site is a closed site. And for goodness sake, if your project has a live link, include it. It's such a missed opportunity if you don't. And this is maybe one of the most important things to remember. Your portfolio is a living document. It is never finished. It's not some project you do once and then forget about. It has to evolve with your skills, with your career goals. You should be in there tweaking and refining it all the time, making sure it reflects the absolute best, most current version of you.
So, where do you go from here? I don't want to just leave you with a bunch of theory. Let's make this super practical. Here is your 5-step action plan. 5 things you can do today to make your portfolio better.
All right, consider this your homework. Number 1, the brutal edit. Go cut any project that isn't absolutely top tier. 2, the rewrite. Just pick one case study and give it that full 4-part story treatment we talked about. 3, the speed test. Check your site's load time on desktop and mobile. 4, the feedback loop. Ask a friend or a peer for an honest, no-holds-barred critique. And 5, the bio update. Go refresh your About Me page right now. This is your checklist. Get started.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Your portfolio is more than just a collection of images. It's your professional story. And right now, you have the power to decide what that story is. By applying these principles, you're not just showing off your skills. You're taking control of your career narrative and building a tool that will actively work to get you hired. So what story will your portfolio tell tomorrow?